And now, News Channel 10's 24/7 local weather first alert forecast, sponsored by Generator Supercenter of Amarillo.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. Taking a look out at Lake Meredith here this morning just before the 5 o'clock hour. As you can still see, that is the Wild Deuce fire there on just kind of the north side of Lake Meredith. It's still burning this morning. I know our News Channel 10 news crews are really working hard on keeping you up to date with the latest. You can always find that at newschannel10.com. But let's talk about our infrared satellites. This is what we're using to kind of look at hot spots here as we start out the morning. You will notice in a few places just kind of looking for some of those black spots in some parts of the area. That's where we're still seeing some of those burning wildfires this morning. So like I said, still seeing a little bit of activity out there. But the good news is we're seeing that wildfire threat, at least, in terms of the strong winds and the extremely dry weather. Those threats are down. Your watches and warnings for today, you will notice that map is blank. No red flag warnings, no high wind warnings, anything of that sort. So some very good news on that front. Let's take a look at your wind tracker for the day today. We're going to see those winds turning out of the north, of course, because of that cold front yesterday, 5 to 10 miles an hour as we start out the day. So some good news there. You will notice as we go into this afternoon, about 2, 3 o'clock, we start to shift those winds out of the south. So of course that'll play some factors in some things. But as those winds shift out of the south, maybe we try to get a warming trend going. But there's a few factors, especially going into your Thursday, that maybe could shake things up a little bit. We'll get to that just a little bit later on. Winds pick up maybe 5 to 15 miles an hour going into tonight, but nothing compared, of course, to what we saw for your Tuesday. So let's talk about your relative humidity right now. This morning we're seeing anywhere from the 60 to 70% range around much of the area. We'll be dropping around the 20s and teens as we go into the early afternoon hours, bottoming out right around 10 to 20% again. But like I said, with the lack of wind in the area, that's certainly going to keep that fire threat down a little bit, but it is still going to be pretty dry around the region today, with those values bouncing back around 20 to 30% going into 9 o'clock tonight. Daytime highs wise, because of that cold front, it's going to be significantly cooler out there. So we're going to see a daytime high of 51 degrees here in Amarillo today. You'll see some places like Tulia and Clayton, as well as Perryton, maybe staying down in the upper 40s. So a little more winter-like out there. And speaking of winter-like weather, that's our next weather maker, where we might be tracking some rain and snow for your Thursday morning. We're tracking a system that's going to be pushing into the area. Let's look at that model run. We're going to see just some passing clouds today. Nothing really terribly exciting there, but watch what happens early Thursday morning, right around 5 a.m. You start to see this system kind of coming in from the southwest, so it's really going to affect our southwest the most. You'll see right there maybe a little bit of snow, some rain mixed in, makes its way towards us here in Amarillo right around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Maybe some snow passing over right around lunchtime, and then as we go into the afternoon hours, everything starts to thin out off towards the east and then moves on out of the region by your Thursday evening. Now, in terms of actual accumulation, our ground temperatures are pretty warm right now, so we're not expecting much snow to stick to the ground. This is kind of your optimistic forecast going into your Thursday afternoon in terms of areas that might see any chance of snow sticking to the ground, and that's if that snow sticks to the ground, maybe a couple tenths of an inch, so not expecting much. But the good news is moisture is still reaching the ground. While the snow may not stick, it should melt, of course, go down in the soil, and that's certainly a very good thing. Let's look at your 7-day supercast here. So 51 over 28 for your Wednesday today. Thursday, because of the cloud cover and that system coming through, we're going to see right there 48 for a high tomorrow, so still pretty cool out there. But watch what happens as we go into the weekend. We see sunshine return. Hopefully we can cash in on those moisture chances for Thursday, because as you can see, Friday through Sunday are looking pretty warm and a little bit breezy out there. Thankfully, not, like I said, not quite as windy as what we have seen so far this week, but wind speed still out of the southwest at 15 to 25 miles an hour, so still will be a bit blustery at times. Of course, keep it locked here to News Channel 10 for the latest on news and weather here in your area.